Okay, I am making a browned butter fudge. Now, this is a recipe test, so I don't know how this is going to work. We're going to see. Come along with me for the journey. All right, so I got my 1½ sticks of butter, and we're going to brown our butter first. Okay, now this recipe calls for evaporated milk, not sweetened condensed milk, okay? And you always want to shake it really well because it does settle to the bottom.
So what you just shook was well enough?
Yes. Well, I shook it a little bit more before I showed you what I was shaking, but yeah. Okay, now, I already tried this recipe once, so that's why my cup is dirty. We're going to put my 2/3 of a cup in there. And we're going to wait for our butter to get browned. We're going to have our butter come to a rich golden, it's going to be a golden color and not this yellow color. Just cook it on medium-high heat until it turns golden. Okay, so you can see it's starting to get a golden, nutty type color, and it smells kind of nutty. This is how you brown butter, right there. See, there's your browned butter right there. That's looking really, really good. Okay, so now we're gonna add our evaporated milk. I'm going to take this off of heat a minute while I get my sugar. Okay. And now we're going to bring this to a boil. And in about 10 minutes, it's going to be 234 degrees. And we are going to use our candy thermometer to watch for it to get up to that high. But first we're going to get everything really dissolved well. And then you don't want to leave this. You want to stir it occasionally to keep it from burning.
And they need to adjust if they're high altitude.
And if you are high altitude, you need to make adjustments to that temperature. You are 5,000 feet above sea level. That's Denver. Then you will take off 10 degrees. So that would be 224 degrees instead of 234 degrees. And if you're wondering, Dining on a Dime, Volume 1, page 2 or page 319, here is how you will know. So you're going for softball, and right here, sweeps right here is the high altitude calculations for you. The link is in the description below. Okay, so my thermometer is all over the place, but it's right around there, so we're going to take it off the heat, just like so. Now we're going to add our white chocolate chips.
So a full bag.
Yep, and vanilla. I'm almost out of my PTA vanilla. Dining on a Dime, Volume 1, if you want the recipe for homemade vanilla right there. Okay, now we're going to melt our chips.
Ooh, it smells good.
Man, this smells really good. And add our marshmallow cream. The best invention for fudge from the 1900s.
Add a whole jar of it.
Whole jar of it.
Not
This time.
Mike's hassling her about another recipe.
So I keep messing up my recipes. If you guys watch all their videos, you'll see the whole thing happening in real time. But
Ooh, that smells amazing.
Give me a thumbs up if you are appreciating me in spite of my lack of reading directions and my memory loss and fibromyalgia pain. I still keep cooking away. And if you guys aren't subscribed, please hit that subscribe bell, and the thumbs up down there below helps YouTube know that you guys love us.
If you're new here, spoiler alert, she usually gets them to turn out great anyway.
I do. 99% of the time when I mess up a recipe, it ends up working out. Okay.
It ends up being a better recipe.
Sometimes it does, doesn't it? I know. Okay, you want everything all smooth, no white from the chocolate chips or your marshmallow. And if you have someone to help you, thank you, dear, hold it. That will help a lot. Oh my, this smells so absolutely delicious. Okay.
Sure does.
All right, and swirl it just like that.
Wow, that really smells like Christmas.
Thick fudge. You could do this in a 9 by 13 pan if you don't want such thick pieces, but we're gonna try this and see. Ooh, yum. Okay. Now we're gonna let this set up and then we will cut it.
Ooh, that cut's nice.
It's like butter. Because it's butter fudge. You get it?
Yep.
Okay, I think got that. There we go. Okay. Here we go. So see how I left it upside down so that it doesn't see all the cracks and everything? How nice and neat that is.
Ooh, pretty brilliant.
That's some pretty hefty pieces of fudge. Yeah, that's okay. You need a good piece of fudge for Christmas, right?
Are those 50-calorie slices?
Probably 250 calorie slices.
It's Christmas. They gotta be fewer calories.
Yes. Okay.
Ooh.
Well, that's pretty darn tootin' good. Wow, that's really good. Yeah,
Is the flavor settling in the more it's in your mouth?
it's really good. I would say, I don't know which of the Irish fudges, butter fudges I like the best. They're both pretty good.
Which one is this?
This one is just butter fudge.
I mean, is it great grandma's or what?
No, just found one on the internet that I wanted to try.
Oh, well, there you go.
I was thinking about doing a video, 7 butter fudge recipes and testing them all. But I didn't know if I should or not. So comment, guys, should I do 7 butter fudge recipes and see which one we like the best? Oh, look at that. Oh, yum. Just like Christmas, just like Christmas. So guys, I am making $1 Million Fudge recipe. I have my sugar and my evaporated milk and a tablespoon of butter in here. All right, we're gonna bring this to a boil and we're gonna let it boil 5 minutes as soon as it comes to a boil. Hershey's Candies, about 13 ounces. This is 19 ounces and my boys took a few out. But I got these on clearance at Halloween. How do I know these are a better deal than buying the Hershey's bars at the store? Because I have my price book here, guys. It's 40% off right now during our Christmas sale, but I put the store up here. We're gonna bring this to a boil and it's not there yet. you put the store up here, and then you put the date and the price, and then as the price goes down or up, you can change the price. But let's say bacon. For me, $2.99 a pound is really good for bacon. So I know if it's more than $2.99 a pound, I won't buy it, and I will wait for it to be $2.99 a pound. So in the case of this, I think it was, I can't remember the exact price. I think it was $1.50 for this entire bag. So when I figured out the ounces, it was half the price of buying it in the store. And how I did that was with my price book. So if you guys want to save money on your grocery bill, this is the way to do it right here with our price book. And it's on sale for our Christmas sale. You can get the link in the description below. Of course, this recipe is also in the description below. By the way, peeling the candies is a great job for the kids. Put them to work, guys. Make them earn their Christmas candy. All right, I'm setting my timer for 5 minutes. Also, you want this on a medium heat so it doesn't burn, and watch it so it doesn't boil over. If it starts to get too high, just lift it up. Also, grease your 9x13 pans. These are the 9x13 pans that my mom made the fudge in, and then she gave them to me, so it's a memory. Now, what's funny about this recipe is it's in our Dining on a Dime Cookbook, Volume 1, page 326, but this is the recipe that my mom uses to make fudge. But I also found out that her mom used it, my grandma's, my dad's mom used it, my great-grandma's used it, and my mom's grandma used it. 4 grandmas and my mom have all used this recipe, and look, my mom's grandma had the original newspaper clipping there. And they called it, what did they call it? White House fudge. Mrs. Eisenhower. So, interesting. So it says Mrs. Eisenhower contributed the recipe, and the president to the Women's National Press Club, which gotten out the cookbook entitled Who Says We Can't Cook? So apparently, that's where that recipe originally came from, and it was President Eisenhower's wife who got this fudge recipe. I thought that's pretty darn tootin' cool. And I can see it's starting to get a little bit brown on my fudge here on the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off my heat because I have an electric stove. If you have a gas stove, don't do this. But because I have an electric stove, I am turning off the heat and letting the residual heat keep it boiling so it doesn't burn. But you can see it's still boiling. All right, we are done. We're gonna move over and put the rest of our ingredients in. Okay, so now we're gonna add our bag of chocolate chips and our Hershey's chocolate and our jar of marshmallow cream. And a splash of vanilla. And we're gonna get this all stirred up, melted. Wow, that looks really good. Okay, start to finish, it looks like this recipe is gonna take 15 minutes total, just so you know. And you can store this in the refrigerator. All your fudges, guys, you can store in the refrigerator, put them in a sealed zip top baggie. Mom individually wraps the fudge for our Christmas stuff, but I don't mess with doing that. I hate doing that kind of stuff, so I don't do it, but Mom doesn't mind, so you can individually wrap these if you would like. Oh, look at that. Oh, yum. Just like Christmas, just like Christmas. Right now, you can get all of our cookbooks and our price book for 40% off right now. The link is in the description below if you want easy recipes to get you in and out of the kitchen quick that your family will love with inexpensive ingredients that everybody has on hand. Go check out our cookbooks. This is only one of 2 sales where this is the lowest price of the year. Go check it out in the description below, livingonadime.com. Okay, now, what Mom does is she always does half without nuts and half with nuts because we have some family members who do not like nuts in our family. And if you want really thick pieces of fudge, you can put it all in one pan. This is for the thinner pieces of fudge. Okay, now we're gonna let this set up. And when it cools, we're gonna cut it. All right, ooh, that looks delicious. All right, I don't know who's gonna get this, but somebody's gonna be fighting over this. All right, I got this cut. Does it smell like Christmas?
It smells like Christmas. It's amazing to have a wife who's always making fudge.
All right, does this taste familiar? Or no?
Was this Nan's fudge?
This is our traditional fudge.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Actually, it is really, really good.
I think it's the Hershey's that does it every time.
Yeah.
I would say this is probably,
It's one of the best.
of all the fudges we've made, this is probably the best, I would say.
I don't know, there's like 3 or 4 that are just so amazing that I think this is one of them for sure.
But I would say if you're gonna only try one, try this one.
Yeah, it's kind of got it's got a nice texture and it's very classic
Yep.
fudge.
Yep. All right, everybody has to see my Christmas decorations. If you can see, oops, I don't know if you can see.
lovely decorator.
Aw, thanks. And then here is my sink. Trying not to get all the dirty dishes that we have in there. There we go. All right, on to the next recipe. Making Irish fudge. Traditional Irish fudge. Now, what's funny about this is Mike and my daughter brought me this back when they went to Ireland. Let's see, how many years ago was it? 6 years ago? 7 years ago? Wow, 7 years ago?
7 years ago.
Holy cow. And I have saved this for 7 years. And this is the first time I'm going to try and make this recipe. I found a recipe called butter fudge. So I think they call it butter fudge here in America. But I got the idea from the Irish fudge.
It does say butter fudge on the back.
Oh, it does?
It says traditional butter fudge.
Oh yeah, on the back it says traditional butter fudge. Now what I did was I looked at the ingredients here: sugar, milk, evaporated milk, butter, and syrup. Corn syrup is what golden syrup is over in Ireland and England. So I finally found a recipe that I think is going to be the same. We'll see. Okay, so we got our fudge, we got our butter for our fudge. And now, when you have evaporated milk, you want to make sure you really shake it well because the solids will fall down to the bottom, okay? So, now this takes 17 ounces of sweetened condensed, of evaporated milk. Okay, so each can is 12 ounces. So it's just over 2 cups of sweetened condensed milk. So what I'm gonna do, because see, 2 cups is 16 ounces. So I'm just gonna go just a titch over, and that's about 17 ounces, okay? We're gonna put that in with our butter. Got it on medium heat. And then we have 6 cups of sugar. And then we need 2 cups, 16 ounces of light corn syrup, or golden syrup as they call it over in Europe and England. And okay, well that's dripping. I'm gonna add my next amount. Okay, and I'm gonna wait until I finish dripping and then I'll put the rest in. Now if you want, you can put this in some warm water before you go to use it if you're down to the bottom of the bowl or bottom of the bottle, and it will soften it up and it'll come out easier. Okay, I think I got most of it there, so we're gonna finish it off to our 16 ounces. All right. Oh my goodness. I absolutely love caramels, so that is why I love recipes like this. Okay, now we're gonna let all of this come together. I don't think my pan's big enough. So now I'm going to pour this into my bigger pot. All right, so now since I have a much bigger surface area, it is going to reach 244 degrees a lot quicker. So I'm gonna really stand and watch this, but while it's coming up to temperature, I've got my mom's 9x13 pan, and I'm going to very thoroughly butter the pan. Okay, so you just take your butter. Now for this one, I would probably use butter instead of cooking spray, but you can use cooking spray. But just really, really butter it well.
You're not doing parchment on this one?
No, you can do parchment if you want, but I'm just showing you the traditional recipe, the traditional way they do it.
I see.
Okay. All right. Now, this recipe is in the description below. We have our #1 dessert post on our website is Christmas candies for what, 15 years now? Starting September through January, it's our #1 post, isn't it?
That's because
Okay, so we're gonna bring this to a boil on medium heat and bring it up to 244 degrees. All right, so you want to continually stir, especially if you have a pot that's bigger than your stovetop, because can you see how the heat is concentrated? Don't touch this, it's lava. See how the heat is concentrated right here? That's because my stovetop burner is smaller than my pan. So you want to keep all that fudge coming in. Then what you want to do is every, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, come in and check your temperature. Now, as it gets higher, it's going to go quicker. And you'll notice that it starts to get thicker, and it'll be a little bit more resistance on your spoon when you go to cook it. So just stay and watch it. Ain't no time to go loving on your hubby, even though he's going to be excited to have your candy. Ooh, that could be taken so many ways. Okay, sorry, we are rated G, but you know.
we're a family channel, woman.
We need to explain, kids, how you got here. Okay. Okay. There we go. So now we're at almost 220, so we're getting close. So now I'm really going to keep watching it. Going down. Can't be going down. Okay, so you can see how it's getting thick. Now look, I literally took 30 seconds to look something up and wasn't stirring, and I got some little brown bits on the bottom. It's fine. It's just going to be caramelized bits, but that happens. Just keep going and you'll just have little caramelized bits. That was my fault. I didn't follow my own directions. Do I ever follow my own directions, dear?
You can follow anybody's directions.
I don't. Okay, we're getting super, super close.
Good thing you're making it now before the party. Get all the kids all wired so they can run around. And
Yes, exactly. Okay, now, this is not what I would call a super easy recipe, but it is a super delicious recipe. If you guys need candy tips, page 319, if you don't have a candy thermometer, this is how you will know when your candy is ready, when you put it into a glass of cold water. So just go here. If you don't have a candy thermometer, super easy to show. Okay. Okay, see how golden caramel it's getting? Yum. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn my heat off. Let it finish. So we're almost. Now I have an electric stove, that's why I turned my heat off to let the residual heat finish, but if you have a gas stove, you'll want to keep it on. Okay, I'm going to turn my heat back on just a minute. Here's how you show to test, okay? So you take a little bit, you pour it in your water here, okay, like that. Let it cool for just a minute. Okay, then I'm going to reach in here, and if it forms a soft ball, not quite cool enough. Okay, if it forms a soft ball, see how that's staying in a soft ball? Your fudge is ready. Okay, that's how you know if you don't have a thermometer. Oh, oh, that is Irish heaven on the tongue. Oh, wow. All right.
And that's no blarney.
Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take it off the heat and you're going to pour it into your mixing bowl for your stand mixer. Okay, now this is easiest to do when you have someone helping you. But since Mike is filming, the mixing, well, now you can hand stir this, but it'll take like 30-45 minutes to hand stir it. So if you don't have a mixer, you can hand stir it. Just stir it on low. Just stir it on low for 15 minutes. Okay, now you can see how nice and thick this is. Ooh, hot.
Still hot?
Yes, it's still hot, so be careful. Okay, so now, oh.
Still semi-molten-y.
Yes. So now we're gonna get this all, now you don't, wow, it's actually pretty warm. Be careful, if it's too hot, get you a hot pad holder. All right, now if it starts setting up on you, just leave that little bit for the hubby and kids. And get it all smashed into your pan. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I have been waiting 7 years to make this recipe. I cannot believe I waited so long. We just want it to be light, this light color, and it starts pulling away like you saw on the pan. Now don't put this in the refrigerator. Just leave it out to set up, but score it before you let it cool, okay? Because it'll come out of the pan easier. Okay. Now we're gonna let this cool, and then we will cut our fudge the rest of the way and plate it up. All right, now come over to this side, dear.
Oh.
Oops, I almost dropped it on the floor. Okay.
Ooh, the soft ball stage.
Traditional Irish butter fudge. Does it taste the same as what it was?
Mm-hmm. It does. It tastes just like it.
And I noticed after beating it, all of the caramel bits that I just slightly burned have all reincorporated in there. So don't even freak out if you get those little caramel bits in there. It'll just reincorporate.
Yum.
It's just like it. Mm-hmm. Oh, if you are a caramel lover, butter rum, this is it.
Butter rum?
Yeah, this is like butter rum. For this fudge recipe, we have 4 cups of sugar. Now, if your sugar is crumbly, don't worry, it'll decrumble or whatever you want to call it. Now, it's funny. So this recipe is in the Dining on a Dime Cookbook, Volume 1. It is my great-grandma, Grandma Bessie's fudge recipe. But look here, she says 1 tall can of evaporated milk. So if you're wondering what a tall can of evaporated milk is, it is 12 ounces, okay? I hope.
But we've slightly modernized the recipe too, right?
No, not that one. We just threw that one in just for fun. So I'm making grandma's, great-grandma's, my great-grandma's fudge recipe. Actually, we should have put a picture of me in there with Grandma Bessie. Yeah, my daughter is named after her. I'm named after her. My mom is named after her. My grandma is named after her. Okay, so we got that, and let's get butter. Okay, and then here is my 1/4 pound of butter. All right, now we're gonna get this on medium heat and get it started melting. Okay, so you guys might find this interesting. So Grandma Bessie, the recipe that we're testing, this is all of her stuff that she had collected. She loved birds. It must be where I get my love of birds from. This is my grandma's recipe box, but look at this. Isn't this cool? So her dad brought this back from World War I when he came back from overseas fighting World War I. Grandma Bessie's dad brought that back. This was her gloves. Oops. And here's her Bible right here. And this was Grandma's glasses. So yep. So now you guys know the story. Oh, and she made this little girl right here. Yep, and this was her rolling pin and her nut grinder and her sifter.
You've used that nut grinder before, haven't you?
Yep. All right, so you want to make sure you have a big enough pot because it will boil up to about triple what you have in there, okay? So you're just going to watch and keep stirring. Now, before you get started, I didn't do this, of course, because I'm Tara and that's just the way I roll. I forgot to butter my pan here. And I'm just going to smooth it all around. My hands are clean. I washed them before I started cooking. Don't worry. Okay, now we got our pan really well buttered. Okay. Now, just keep stirring until you get to 200. Now, I would say 234 to 239 degrees. Okay. So just keep watching and stirring until you get down, or until you get up to that. Okay, we're getting close, but still not there. But just keep stirring. You'll see it'll start thickening. See how it's starting to thicken up. It'll be harder to stir. I mean, this isn't hard to stir, but you'll just start feeling resistance. Now, this is not a quick recipe. I know. I'm just making this for the fun of it because it's my great-grandma's recipe. And I love marshmallow cream. Grandma loved marshmallow cream. And what's funny about this is as soon as all these convenience foods like this and the semi-sweet chocolates started coming out, my great-grandmas ran to those things. They were so excited to be able to use all those convenience foods. My other great-grandma almost starved to death, so that's why she was all happy about convenience foods. Everybody says they want to be, oh, this meme that comes up absolutely drives me nuts. It's talking about grandma living off her organic food like they did in the old days. Yeah, my great-grandma almost starved living off of organic food. Not the grandma that's this recipe, but my dad's grandma. And so that's why I'm not into all of that, because I know what happens when you go all organic and that type of thing. So
she also spent 8 hours a day in the kitchen.
She did, yeah. She would have to cook 17 loaves of bread, she said, when they would do harvesting in September for all the harvesters, and it was awful. And in one of those Septembers, she gave birth to my grandmother, made 17 loaves of bread, gave birth to my grandmother, and then almost died giving birth. Yeah, it was. Everybody wants to be like the old days, but my great grandmas were like, I would never go back to the old days. Okay, so now we're getting close. We want to get to 234. And we are almost there. So I'm going to test this on the softball stage to see. And I've got some water with a little bit of ice, and I'm going to pour in a little bit there, let it cool. Is that soft ball? Would that look like a soft ball to you, dear?
Very.
So you want it about like this. That's perfect. If you are confused on what is soft ball, firm ball, hard ball, here's the temperatures if you have a thermometer. But here's how to test if you don't have a thermometer. This is how Grandma used to do it. That's why over here where Grandma says cook to soft ball stage, she's meaning right here between 234 and 240 degrees. Okay, so now I'm going to put in our chocolate chips. Now, what I do is I put my chocolate chips in first and get those all melted because it cools my fudge down, okay? And then when you go to put in your vanilla, it won't just all evaporate right away. Got my marshmallow fudge, or my marshmallow cream for my fudge. And I'm gonna scoot over here so it's not on the heat anymore. And holy cow, that is sitting up quick.
So Grandma's fudge is a marshmallow fudge.
Yes, it was. Now, what's funny is marshmallow cream was made in 1917, and in 1918, the sandwich where you make the peanut butter and marshmallow cream together became popular. So I thought that was an interesting little tidbit there.
Need your hand to do that for you?
Yes. Actually, this is why women had their husbands knead the bread and stir the fudge for them, because it gets to be pretty much of a workout.
Because they were no dummies.
Yes.
You can do it, but why should you?
Now, I will say, this is probably why Grandma Bessie was 350 pounds, because she liked to cook and bake, I think. Or she at least liked to eat. I don't know if she liked to cook or not, but she liked to eat. All right. Now, just take in. Okay, now Grandma's recipe doesn't say to score it beforehand, but I think I am going to go ahead and score it.
Use your cutty thing to score it.
Oh, because it's dirty, I think.
I cleaned it.
Oh, you did? Well, goodness, you are the most efficient production assistant I've ever had. Oops. Oh, whoops, my lines got off. You're the only production assistant I've ever had, aren't you, I think?
Yeah, I got lots of experience.
I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not doing a very good job cutting these.
You can say a lot of things about Tara, but OCD is not one of them.
Okay, now we're gonna let this cool, and then we will get our fudge out. Let's see how it turned out. Okay, we have Grandma Bessie's fudge. This just does not seem right. I wonder if a tall can of evaporated milk in 1950s was actually 12 ounces.
It was 12 ounces what you had in that one?
Yeah.
It'd be tall as 16 ounces.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Do I call Grandma at the nursing home and ask her?
Yes. You should do it in the video.
Okay. Something's not right. It tastes really good. The texture is wrong.
Oh man, it does taste really good.
Tastes really good.
It's a little bit of a fluffy texture.
Should I Google tall can of evaporated milk and see what it says?
Yeah, I think you should call Grandma right here on the video. Hey Grandma, I'm on YouTube right now, but...
Well, a number 1 tall can was 16 ounces or a number 2 tall can was 24 ounces.
Oh my.
That's like totally different recipe.
That's why this is more powdery and that one's supposed to be more creamy.
Back in the day, well now this person thinks it's 12 ounces. 16 ounces or 2 cups. Okay, so let's grab Grandma's recipe box, shall we? Don't want to get it all mixed up. Those cakes, candy. Here's candy. Holy cow, Grandma. Oh my goodness. Grandma's got more candies in here than she has anything else. Holy macaroni, right? Or is there another? Oh no, here's a divider. No, okay, it was cookies and candies. Okay, sorry. I was like, Grandma, wow. Okay, so there's cookies. Let's just look through here real quick and see. Fudge. Okay, so this is Mom's fudge. Okay, so this is Mom's fudge, which was my dad's. So this is my Grandma Cooper's fudge, which was my dad's side, and Mom gave it to Grandma. So, and it has 1 bag of chips and 1 jar of marshmallow cream. 1 bag of chips. Okay, so it has the same amount of chips and chocolate right there with marshmallow cream. But Mom's called for 4 cups of sugar. Okay, so right here, so let's look at this. So Mom called for 4 cups of sugar, 1 can of evaporated milk, and a tablespoon of butter. Well, it should have worked, because that's the same amount. But Mom says only boil 5 minutes. And this one says to softball stage. So that's where it's wrong. Is you shouldn't do it to softball stage. You should only boil it 5 minutes.
But it must have worked for Grandma Bessie for her to write it that way.
Well, how do we know that this isn't just something that she wrote out and we just found it? We don't know if this is her actual fudge recipe that she used all the time.
What?
Maybe it wasn't the fudge recipe she used all the time.
This is the one she wrote so that other people would say, how come I can never get this recipe to turn out, but you make it so amazingly all the time.
So you're only supposed to boil it for 5 minutes, so Grandma Bessie's recipe was wrong.
But this isn't the same recipe, is it? So,
well, everything's the same because I know the Hershey's and the bag of chips is the same amount as the 2 packages of chocolate chips. I know that's the same weight. No, actually, no, Mom has more chocolate in hers. So Mom has the equivalent of 3 bags of chips, and Grandma Bessie's only had 2 packages of chips.
So maybe it is supposed to have more evaporated milk in it. To make it more creamy.
Okay, guys, I don't know. Tell me what's wrong here. I do not know what's wrong here.
So she was making this fudge, not the one actually in the book that we've...
No, this is my fudge recipe that I like. I didn't actually use Grandma's fudge recipe. We just put this in here because it was cool.
Yeah. So now I have to figure out how Grandma actually did it.
Okay, so look at this now. Grandma actually has... Here's the Irish fudge recipe. Grandma had it. This is it.
Blonde fudge.
I'm sure. This is it. She says only to cook to 223. See how Grandma corrects her things there? Okay, so now this one says 3 cups of sugar, milk, and cocoa. And this one says 2 cups of sugar, evaporated milk, butter. And this is the marshmallow cream one again. I don't know whose recipe that is because that's not Grandma's writing. This is Grandma's writing and this is Grandma's writing. I wonder if she has any more fudge recipes in here. Now here's another one. Oh my goodness, and here's another one. Oh my goodness, how many recipes did Grandma have for fudge?
Which grandma is this?
Grandma Tatum, Mom's mom. Or it's Mom's mom. Oh my goodness, here's another fudge.
This one looks like it would be Aunt Donnie's.
So one of these said Aunt Donnie's, which was, yeah. This is, oh, actually this is Aunt Donnie's husband, not even Aunt Donnie. Okay. So now this one has 2 cups of sugar, salt, heavy cream, milk, and corn syrup. Whoever Sue Lopez was, I don't know who Sue Lopez was. And Aunt Donnie's husband, this would be your last husband, Uncle Clay. Let's see. Okay, so this has baker's chocolate and butter and sugar and milk. Oh my, and so here's the Hershey's. Hershey's has sugar, milk, baking chocolate. Oh, that's similar to this one, except it has corn syrup in it. Okay. Do I make a video testing all of these fudges and see which one is the best?
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
What do I do, guys? Comment and let me know. Okay, so Grandma Bessie's fudge tastes really, really good, but it's crumbly, which means it cooked too long. That's how you know fudge cooked too long, is when it's crumbly.
Well, I was wondering if perhaps when you were trying to demonstrate the softball stage thing, you let it go too long while we were getting the stuff together to test it. And other people wouldn't be making the video, so they wouldn't be doing all that. You could do one off camera and see how it goes.
Do I make all of these fudges one day to see? Is there
The ultimate
2, 4,
fudge test.
6, and then I got my fudge recipe. I now say, I don't like making cooked fudge. I do not like making cooked fudge. That's why I do my 3-ingredient fudge with the chocolate chips and the sweetened condensed milk and butter is optional. But that's why I make that fudge, because actually I like that a lot better and it turns out nice and creamy every time. So, Okay guys, tell me and let me know what you want to do. Should I test all of these fudge recipes of Grandma's? Dining Cookbook Volume 1! We are making toffee. This is another Christmas candy we have made for, well, the 50 years that I've been alive. Probably longer than that. Right in here I have a 1/2 cup of butter, which is 1 stick melting. Then I have my brown sugar. Oh, seriously? 1/3 of a cup. Let's see, how many 1/3 of a cup are in 3/4? 1, 2, okay. Let's hope this works. 1. Now, as always, these recipes are in the description below. Okay, so now we got our sugar and our butter, and we're gonna bring this to a boil on medium heat. All right, my toffee is coming to a boil, so while that's happening, I've lined my baking dish with a used cookie. See, it's got grease, but it's fine. It's not gonna hurt anything. It's not staying down very well, but that's fine. I cut the edges so that they'll go in there. Then we're going to, I did the parchment paper so that it'll lift out of this dish because I've never used this dish before. But if you're just using a regular metal pan, you just need to grease the bottom of the pan and then just sprinkle your nuts on the bottom of the pan. Oops, well that didn't work. Now I'm using almonds. You can use peanuts or walnuts if you want. Okay, I don't know if this pan's going to be the best pan or not. That's a little too many almonds. Okay, we'll see how this works. Ah! All right, so now it is starting to come to a boil right there. Now you have to watch this carefully. Once it comes to a boil, you're going to let it cook 7 minutes. But you have to be careful because if your heat is too high, it'll start to burn. So stand here and watch it for the 7 minutes. And if you start smelling or seeing it get really, really dark, then just take it off immediately, pour it in your pan because usually you can save it, okay? So now we've got it on medium and we're turning it down to low. And we're going to let it finish boiling on low for 7 minutes. All right, we have 1 minute left. I turn off my stove at 1 minute because I have an electric stove and just let the residual heat finish cooking it so that it doesn't burn. But we have about 30 seconds or so left, I think. And I'm watching it really carefully. You can tell if it's going to burn because it gets really dark around the edges. Now, this is dark, but I mean it starts getting darker. And if that happens, just take it off immediately and pour it in your pan. Because usually it's not burned yet. If you start noticing it, that it seems like it's burning, just take it off right away. And you can probably save it. All right, there it is cooked. Yum. All right, so now we're going to drizzle it in our pan. Oops, there's my timer going off. Oops, oh dear, I missed. Okay, then just take your spoon. Now this is super, super hot again, so don't burn yourself. Then you're going to take your chocolate chips, and I like the mini ones because they melt quicker, but you can just use regular chocolate chips. And just sprinkle those on top. Whoops, or a lot. Then what I do is I take a baking sheet and I set it on top, and that keeps the heat in to melt the chocolate chips just for like 3 or 4 minutes. We're going to let those chocolate chips melt, and then we're going to spread them. Okay, can you see how the chocolate chips are melting? I'm going to let it stay for just 2 or 3 more minutes. Melt the rest of them. Okay, let's test the spreadability. Probably should leave it just a minute more, but I'm going to spread some of it out and get the ones that are done. There. Oh, yum. Okay, we're going to let that cool, and then we're going to crack these, and you will have delicious toffee.